I'll move to approve meeting minutes from the previous meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve minutes from the previous meeting. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All ayes, motion carries. Any additions or corrections to the agenda?
No, I haven't.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All ayes, motion carries.
Marcus is here from Hedberg and Son.
Morning.
He wants to come up and
Come on up.
talk about that roof over the clerk's office and a couple other things that we
Yeah.
challenged him with.
Well, I've got several proposals put together here. One is for the tear down of the chimney on the east end of the building. The other is for some snow guards across here to protect the people coming in and out of that door a little bit more. And then a couple of different options for the other section over here. So I guess we can start with, first one here is the chimney tear down. These prices that I've set here is kind of with the idea that I'd be doing all of the work kind of at the same time. This is gonna require a lift, the chimney's gonna require a lift, so it's considering that I've got a week's worth of rental for that one lift. It's pretty self-explanatory. We're gonna take it down to the height that the same side of the dorm, the gable over here. And you can see it kind of comes down and flattens out, and I'll bring the chimney down to the same point so that it'll flatten out, so the gable will look the same, both sides of it.
Does that get rid of enough brick to get down to where we're getting rid of the loose stuff?
Yeah. Yep.
You don't take it down below the roof line?
No.
It's built into the building. It's kind of the design of that end, that eave, so we would take it down so that both sides of that peak look the same, and then he would cap it.
Yeah.
Like he did that other.
The other side has about the same size of copper cap that I built for it, a little bit smaller, so from the end it's gonna look the same. The chimney itself is not completely freestanding, it's built into that gable, so I couldn't really take it down below the roof and have it look right. Any other questions with that? There's other proposals to replace these downspouts right outside this window here. They blew out from snow and ice build up this past winter.
There's quite a split on that section right here, isn't there?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yeah. All the downspouts coming down are split out on the back side of it. I think that's partial to the ice and snow that's been coming down that valley there and not being broke up enough from the snow guards. So instead of having smaller pieces coming down, it's been having big chunks come down, so.
Is that gonna happen again?
I can't foresee if it will or not. There's no easy way to deal with something like that on the north side of a building. A guy can run an ice cable down it or something to keep it from freezing up solid. That'd be about the only option really. So it hasn't really been too much of a problem, but up until now for you guys, a pretty harsh winter. And this is the snow rail. This is, it kind of looks like I should have brought some illustrations of what they look like. There's large brackets that get mounted to the roof, and then there's two rails that come up and they stand vertical up off the roof. And then in between each one of the brackets, there's a flag that hangs down. So what that means is there's nothing that's gonna be more than, say, 6 inches wide that would be able to fit through the snow rail to come down. So between the snow guards that we have in place, breaking it up, and this breaking it up, you won't no longer have the sheeting that you're experiencing right now. The other option would be to go up further on the roof and add more snow guards in. So we have those two courses of snow guards holding things in place. But I really feel that this should take care of it. This is a cheaper fix for you guys, obviously, than adding whole nother courses of the snow guards up higher. So I think this will add the protection that you guys are looking for to take care of the sheeting that you're getting coming off of there.
Several times we've had just huge amounts of snow drop right in front of that door going into the sheriff's office.
Well, there's quite a run, and by run I mean from the gutter to the peak. There's a real long run right there before it gets down to the snow guards for it to break up. So what's happening is there's so much amount of it coming down that the snow guards can't break it up or hold it in place. So it just blows over top of them. So I think that will definitely hold things in place better.
We've had several people mention.
Yeah. And it's really, we don't know when we should barricade that door and when not to, because, it could lay up there for a week after it snows and get just a little bit of variance in the temperature and down it comes. So it's definitely
Dangerous situation sometimes, huh?
Mhm.
Now, due to some restructuring with GAF's warranties and the way that they do them, is why I've had to give you some different options for the roof. And I can't just go exactly the same as what I did on this other section. However, on this particular estimate, it's the same price per square as what I did this section for down here. So everything is exactly the same, the assembly's the same, everything is the same. What's different is I can't give a 30-year warranty with that exact assembly anymore. They're requiring me for a 30-year to tear off to the deck. I can no longer leave any layer of roofing in there whatsoever. So what I've done is I've included at that same price per square the well roof program, which I've only brought one of these. You guys can pass them around. It just kind of shows you the checklist of what a person goes through to do inspections. What this includes is me coming up yearly and doing a formal inspection on the roof, and that extends your warranty by 25%. So that will take it up to the 25 years. So we start off with the base warranty of a 20 year, and I add 5 years to that to take it to 25 years. Now I have another option here which includes doing a complete tear off to the deck, but however I can't do that additional work and add additional insulation for the same cost.
What's the advantage of removing and then the same in consideration of utility bills?
Well, the amount of material I'm going to take off down to the deck, I would put back just about the same amount with this other proposal, because I've included 2 layers of 2-inch if I tear it off to the deck, whereas if I do this as I did this other system, I'm doing 2 layers of 1.5 inches. So your R values really aren't going to change that much. There's not really an advantage for you to tear it down to the deck. The advantage is that you get the 30-year warranty that matches this warranty down here. However, like I've included the inspections, which takes you to 25 years. So you're not going to have a roof failure in those last 5 years. It's just, that's some of the things that they've changed with their warranty process. So I don't, if you're asking me my opinion, I don't feel that the extra expense and the extra work that's needed to do that really is going to gain you much. We're going to do the same process as we did here. We would remove any wet or damaged insulation that's underneath and replace it, just as we did with this section, so we're not covering over wet stuff to begin with. I have to do that regardless. If for some reason they call my bluff and want to come up and do a core sample on it and test it and find wet stuff, then I've got to tear the whole roof off again. So it's it's really the only thing you're gaining is the extra 5 years. With the 20-year, however, you're getting the annual inspections, which I'd like to talk to you guys about doing that well roof program on the section that you already have as well.
This,
Yes, yes.
What's the cost of that
$300 a year.
annual?
And it's a pretty hefty checklist that they make me do. This is the old way that they had us do it. Now we go right on our phones and do all the whole inspection via the phone, and it's automatically logged into GAF's database. So the only differences between the two of these would be to tear it down to the deck, and you're gaining another inch of new insulation because I'm taking off an additional inch with the old roof. Right now you have that Duralast, the foam, the built-up roof, and then a layer of 1 inch perlite.
With this inspection, what do you anticipate seeing in what, say you're out 20 years, and what are you gonna do for longevity of the current roof that we would have at 20 years versus saying you gotta tear it off anyway?
There's not no magical thing. I'm not gonna do a coating or anything like that. It's just going through and making sure that there hasn't been some damage done to something in the time frame, say a tree limb fall, poke a hole through, a mechanic up there working on an air conditioner, or ice falling off of a tree, falling off the upper roof, poking a hole. It's looking for those things. It's ensuring that the sealants that are put on are recaulked when needed. Those are maintenance items. Making sure that we don't have a material failure of some sort with cracking or crazing of the membrane. It's just going through yearly and making sure that all of those things are still in good condition. Checking the drains, cleaning the roof, getting all the leaf debris off the roof, getting the tree limb debris off the roof. The membranes itself can outlast sealants and caulking and stuff like that, so it's just making sure that everything stays watertight. And that inspection fee does include some of that work. If there's holes that need to be patched or stuff like that that's been caused from debris or whatever, that's an additional cost, but I include a lot of that in with the annual fee.
Okay.
Still be getting both that same warranty.
Jim, I know we budgeted for this roof repair. I don't recall what we budgeted as far as.
we budgeted $50,000.
Is that what we did? That's all we have available.
All right.
Kind of like my barber the other day, he raised a buck and said, well, I filled my check out at home, and so I need the $12 job, and he said, you won't want the $12 job.
Yeah. Well, that lower price is, you know, like I said, it's the same price per square as what I did this other section for. That was discounted, because we have had 2 price increases in installation costs since we did that roof, and both of those were 10% increases each. But I didn't feel like I wanted to increase that base cost, so I left the cost at the same price per square as what we did that section for, so.
Do you have a maintenance program that would cover all of our roofs?
Mhm.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
I'd be interested in looking at that.
Okay, I think I've already sent you a cost for this flat roof. I haven't done anything for the upper roof.
Okay.
But I can get that put together for you, certainly. Certainly. Yeah, it'd be nice to just come up and do,
Yeah.
once or twice a year, just come up and do both steep slope and low. Most customers go for the twice a year, spring and fall. You know, any trees, limbs, leaf debris, stuff like that, we take care of in the fall. And then you get buildup of ice and stuff like that that can cause like downspouts to split, or, you know, gutters to get damaged, or what have you. Flashings that pop loose, so we'd be able to take care of all of that at the same time, so.
The upper roof was a big deal when we did that, and,
Yeah.
and
You're telling me.
are you still pleased with the performance of the product?
Yeah, from what I see, yeah, it looks really good. It looks like everything's laying down nice still.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't had any blow-offs, and we haven't really experienced any leaks to speak of that I'm aware of.
Are you still putting that product on?
Oh, yes. We were #1 in the nation for installation for this product.
Is that right?
Yep.
It was tough. We tried our best to mess it up.
Yeah.
When you had it, I mean, we put it in the freezer, and
Uh-huh.
it was tough.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. The only problems that we've ever had with it was they've started to automatically mix the product now. What we did was we'd take 5-6 pallets of material and we intermix them all so that we get even color distribution. They do that now at the factory. And we had this couple of the first runs where it didn't quite get mixed properly, so we had some blotching and stuff, but that's really all that's the only problem we've ever had with it, so.
I'll be really disappointed if it doesn't last, because boy, it's tough.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
It's good stuff.
it'll definitely last well beyond the stated warranty that comes with the product, so. It's good to hear positive remarks from something like that, though. It's been on.
We've had a lot of good compliments on it.
Good, good. And no problems with this section that I'm aware of either, so that's good. It's all good news.
So this maintenance thing on this other,
Mhm.
on this new roof, if we choose to do this, does that include repair of those fish eyes? Or does that come under the warranty?
The fish eyes.
That little, where the leaks start, that's what Mark.
Well, this is a whole different material than what that other product
Oh, okay.
is. So you're not gonna experience any of those issues that you
Oh, okay.
experience with the Duralast. That's a PVC, polyvinyl chloride. This is TPO, thermoplastic olefins. They're a little bit different in chemistry. That product breaks down over time and causes issues like that. The ultraviolet light attacks the chloride that keeps the membrane flexible.
I see.
And so over time, that chloride is evaporated out of the sheet, so the sheet becomes brittle and weakens, and then you can start having those fish eyes, holes that just appear out of nowhere, stuff like that, where TPO isn't
Okay.
affected by the ultraviolet light, so.
So we're not gonna see that on this roof?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
This was a heavier product too.
Much heavier,
Yeah.
yeah. That was a 40 mil, this is a 80 mil. Yeah. And we've stuck with both of the, everything is the same with both of those. You get the cover board, which gets you the hail resistance and everything, so. That's another big thing with that product is, if there's any hail whatsoever with it, they don't ever it has a very soft substrate underneath of it. The foam is very soft, so when a hailstone hits it, it's able to depress the membrane significantly, which causes cracking, so on and so forth. So this has your new roof, and this proposal has a cover board over it, which makes it almost like a tabletop. So there's no room for depression underneath it. So, very good system. We worked with you guys to build this system for this last roof, and we've done it on several other locations. We're very happy with the results of it. So. Anything else, guys?
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thanks, Marcus.
You bet.
Yep, thank you.
By the way, it's about 10 degrees colder up here this morning than it was when I left my house.
Fresh this morning. One last question. Is there a scheduling issue with you guys if we decide to move forward with this?
I know you were waiting for July 1st for funds to be available. We wouldn't have a problem starting before then. We would like to start before then, in fact. July, August tends to be our busiest times of the year. So you give me the go-ahead on here at this point in time. That's typically the negotiated work happens this time of year. Later in the year is the new construction work, so that's when we're like running crazy because everybody's got everything built at the same time, because they're all starting at the same time. So
Okay.
Do you need a place to deposit those bricks if they decide to?
yeah, we could work something out with that. Yeah, I wouldn't want to call them clear back home.
Yeah.
Generally, we find some farmer or something that's looking to put some support on a dam of their pond, or
Okay.
a driveway or something like
Oh,
that.
we can be thinking of that too if we
Yeah.
decide to do
Yeah.
that. Okay.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Vicki?
Last week I had given a proposal on having Mickey go full-time, and you accepted the proposal. Well, in my proposal I had the 2014-15 because I was comparing the wages of when Lisa would be here or without Lisa. And I guess I forgot to say that what I need to have is Mickey full-time right away and her pay showing that, and the same with Mel's raise, because they are doing that work now, and they have been. So I guess that's what I needed to clarify, that I need it now instead of July 1st.
I guess when I made the motion, when we approved it, that we intended it to be right away.
Okay, but when I talked to Jim, he said, and it did, it had
It did, and I
14,
didn't
15
notice
on
that.
there, because I was comparing. So, I don't know if you need to make another motion or not.
Does that need clarification, Jim, or did?
I think so, yeah, just so everybody knows what we're talking about.
For clarification of the proposal, I'll make the motion to, my intention was to have it effective immediately. So that's my motion.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to clarification for the pay for Lisa and Mel, or for Mel and
Mickey.
Nikki, so, sorry.
That's all right.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, all ayes, motion carries.
Okay,
Cool.
Thank you. That's all I needed.
Are you here for the engineers?
No, I'm just observing for a Farm Bureau class.
Oh, I see.
I'm Matt Rash from ODP.
Oh, sure. I knew I should recognize you.
So you have to go down to the state and
Mhm.
tell them that we,
I don't really know what they're gonna, if they're gonna ask questions about each. There's 25 of us in the class.
supervisors, this is Rennell. Okay, that's fine. Okay, thanks. Vicky's coming back up.
Dean asked the question, on these roofing proposals, are these for maintenance items, do these need to be bid, or how does this need to proceed?
Well, yeah, he just brought these up for, actually, when he came up, I thought he was gonna talk more about the product itself, but I suppose since we know what the product is, yeah, we'll have to ask for bids.
So, I mean, we've had really good experience with their work, and
Yeah.
I'd like to see them do the job, but we have the responsibility.
But is there anybody local that has capable of doing this job, or?
The roof that they took off of that one when they replaced it was done by a group out of Lamar's, JR Roofing. And that's the group that did the west annex and the south annex as well. They bid, when we did this one, that group from Lamar's submitted a bid on that as well. But they didn't bid the same product. They didn't have this product. We actually.
This was certainly an upgrade.
Mhm.
It was obviously tougher.
But on those other two proposals that he submitted, those are just, we've looked and looked for somebody to take that chimney off, but I've never been able to find
Yeah,
anybody.
we had the same problem with the Methodist church. We had to lower the
Yeah.
chimney there, and couldn't get anybody to bid on it. Finally got it down, did get it done, so it was pretty close to the same cost this was.
And the proposal on replacing the copper downspout is really their project anyway. It's just maintenance on what they've done.
We do was this a year ago or 2 years ago? A year ago.
Yeah,
Time moves a little fast.
I'd have to look.
Do you have any idea how many years the other roof?
Tell us if we're, that way.
Before we replaced it.
Yeah.
That one lasted about 15 years. That was the first one we did.
This was leaking bad.
Mhm.
It was,
And that's why the board went with a different product, because the boys would, custodians, when they'd go up and clean those drains and stuff, they'd find just, well, Mark calls them fish eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And they just, a little bitty hole, and then they spider web out. and it just
Get
wasn't-
moisture underneath there.
Mhm.
sheriff was, leaks over there.
Yeah.
Hey, just glancing through that warranty book, it's the same thing for 20 years.
Mhm.
I didn't see anything different from the first year to the
No.
last year, as far as their inspection.
Yeah, the only thing this does for that kind of money, it gives you 5 more years on your warranty. Or for 5,000 more, you can go to a 30-year warranty.
Yeah, it's 1,500 versus 500.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Might not be worth what the paper's worth, that's
We ran into that this year. They've got a warranty. Company issued the warranty. So we're just kind of out.
And Ben said that everything was in open meetings, and therefore we can tell what happened, so. That's for you guys, if you wanted to take copies so that all of you have it, that's fine too.
Thanks,
If
Vicki.
you have any other questions, give me a call.
Okay.
Okay.
No, depending upon what the condition of the insulation is, you hate to remove layers if it's dry and if it's viable. How many feet is that reduction, Jim? Of the chimney? How many feet are they taking
Oh,
down?
you know, I really can't tell you. I think we can probably get a pretty good estimate off of our pictometry. I might be done now.
We're going to recess until.
Yeah, we know. recess.
Copies with that memorandum. These are physical checks we have. Nothing was ever done.
What's your intent?
I have written to the people. But I'm keeping them until I talk to Tammy and someone in Fitzgerald's.
And they're supposed to be refunded checks to folks?
No,
or
some of them
they're
are to Sac
owed?
County.
Okay.
I don't know. There were some sheriff's liens that were never taken care of. County could have been sued on those, if anything had come from it. There were some license plates found further down on her desk. They were never sent. So I don't know.
Do you have to ask for state guidance as far as?
We are in contact with them every day. They've been here twice to help the girls understand and do things, so they've been really good.
Good.
Yeah.
Out of which office?
Levon Short is out of the state DOT.
State DOT?
Mhm. And then she brought her assistant too, so they both were here twice helping, so.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
County includes replenishing salt stockpiles at the Sac City shed, laying gravel roads, scheduling drain tile repair on 220th Street between Needham and Perkins.
We gotta come out of recess. Now you can
Continue to stockpile roadstone at Motorboat and Wall Lake, cutting trees in the right of way, patching potholes in various paved roads throughout the county, and servicing equipment. Project status, really no change there from last week. I guess the contractor is planning to close D-59 a week from yesterday to get started on that project. Nothing new on the white tapping project either. We should get the bid tab and the contract information from the DOT probably later this week, so probably have that to bring to the board next week. Skipping down to item 4, got a pay voucher for $1,041.97 from the DOT. That was for testing on our box project there west of Wall Lake. That'll be paid for out of our farm art fund. Need the board approval and the chairman to sign, I guess. Guess I need to look that close at what testing they're charging us for, but
Whole list of stuff.
probably some aggregate samples and some steel testing.
I'll make a motion to approve, pay the voucher for $1,041.97.
I'll second the motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to chairman to sign the pay voucher. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All ayes, motion carries.
One thing I didn't put on there too was, back in February, the board had a motion to add that Jake break ordinance to part of D-36, and I had emailed Jim and Ben I'm trying to clarify whether that was all that was needed or whether there needed to be a resolution to change that. Add that wording for D-36, and Jim thought it was, that's all you needed was the motion to change that ordinance on the Jake break, so we'll go ahead and get those signs ordered and get it put up.
We need to remind Kenny to spend some time on those.
I'll let him know when we get those up.
Well, from both directions, both north and south, when you send those, because I know,
You have somebody's abusing
the north-south one, I had a couple people indicate that they weren't really paying attention to it, so.
this takes a couple to do it, and then people get the
The work
message.
gets out there.
But Calvin County, they actually passed the second ordinance, I think 2 weeks ago, I can't remember, but I was sort of waiting to order the signs ordered at the same time, so.
Not quite.
Not quite.
3 minutes.
Clock's slow, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know.
I got like 14.
Did it?
Check yourself.
I do too.
This one.
Well, I guess while we're waiting. Jim. Okay. For some reason, some of these printed in color and they don't look quite as nice, but. What copy do?
It's 11:15, we'll Open public hearing. Vacate road section 24, Walling Township.
I guess, to open the meeting, I guess I'll make it. You wanna do it? Do you usually do an attendance sheet, Jim, on?
I go,
Okay. The notice of public hearing was sent out February 26th by certified mail with a copy of wasn't this map, but it was a similar map trying to show what was going to be vacated. And that went out to 5 parties. And we do have the return receipts back on those 5 landowners, or excuse me, 5. There's actually 2 landowners in the Raccoon Valley, REC, Windstream Communications, and Iowa DOT. And we've got those return receipts back. It was published March 11th in the Sac Sun. We got a call on March 20th from Mrs. Freeman, who was a little confused about the date of the hearing because the publication got sent out saying Tuesday, March 24th instead of March 25th. So in conversations with Jim and with Ben, what we ended up doing there is we had emails for the 4 parties, and since we'd already talked to Reamons about it, we did send emails to those 4 parties requesting a receipt back that they'd received it. And we've got copies of the email here. I don't, if you want them, I can give you a copy of them, that they did receive the correction in the date. And then also yesterday, then Jim Dowling and Ronell and I were here in the boardroom from about 10 after 11 to 20 after 11. If anybody would happen to look at yesterday or looked at the date and came by the date instead of the day. I think it'd be good if the minutes reflected that, so if somebody looked in the future and saw the notice and saw that there was a conflict there, that they would see that we were available to take concerns yesterday. Note as far as utilities, Raccoon Valley does have a service line along the west side of that section of road, right? It goes all the way along there, doesn't it, Mitch?
Yeah.
Windstream has a phone line up to Reamond's house that runs approximately 980 feet north of the south line of that section. So there would be the last, 150 feet or something like that would be within the part of the road that's to be vacated. But we will note in the resolution that utilities retain their right to continue in possession of the right-of-way they had even after vacation. So there's a Iowa Code Section 306.22 refers to that. So with that, I also sent a copy of the resolution, draft resolution to Ben and to Jim, and also sent them a draft agreement on the transfer of the bridge, and I also sent that draft on the transfer of the bridge to Tom Reamon for his review. Does anybody want me to try to explain what roads were established in this map? This is probably one of the more confusing ones we've had. The original Hobbs Road was established in 1874 and went from the southeast corner of that section up a short quarter mile, then diagonal to the northwest, and then up to the bridge location, and then went to, on almost the easterly line to the east line of the section, and then went north. It actually, the original establishment goes on north past that quarter corner way. Part of that then was vacated in 1877, the part, basically the part south of the bridge. And then Stevens Road was established at that same time in 1877. It came from the south line of that section up to the westerly end of the bridge. And then in 1940s, there was a easement purchased from Ruston that went from the northeast end of the bridge northeast and intersected the road up there. So basically on the map there, the top four shadings are trying to show the segments of those old roads that we're intending to vacate, if they have not been previously vacated. Some of those, I guess, we couldn't find in the records where they were vacated, because on the north side there, where the old road was established, definitely isn't where the road is now. And apparently was changed in 1940 when they got that other easement. But the only section of that road that would remain open, as shown by the hatch section on the lower part there, is from the south line of the section 855 feet north, which puts the end of the road just north of Freeman's driveway. I guess with that, if anyone's got questions or concerns.
We don't have any issues with it with Raccoon Valley. As long as we have access, talking to Tom, he's gonna keep the road. We can drive down the road on either side. It's basically, it's been closed to myself since I started, so. Yeah, from that north intersection, basically closed off anyway. As long as we can still get down the road to the bridge and then come around the other side and get to it. We're good to go.
How about you, Tom?
Well, I guess I don't have any objections, I guess. I guess my intention is to, take the bridge, I guess, because I do visit. I go across there to the four-wheeler and stuff, and then the sheep can go on that side of the river without, they just go across the bridge, so.
That was, Tom has that request, I guess.
There's another place in there,
Well, I'm thinking about having one of them, so I can get rid of some point roads with that.
Same.
Same thing. Just two
just
copies.
some of this so we can get the likelihood, it should be fine, but if
Well, I guess this part here wouldn't be any different than if you had a.
Are they the same? Okay, that's fine.
This one's just a copy of the
I
other.
just
Yeah,
cleaned it quickly. Have you seen that request before?
No.
He said there's 250 feet that he would bypass, and it'd be level.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
On the south side of the bridge?
There is what I'm thinking about.
Tom, in your request, where is that exactly where you were asking it to be leveled? On the map here?
On the south side of the bridge or the north side?
Well, it'd be from that T intersection, up here, just along there, cause that cuts into this piece, and then it, you know, I end up with point roads there, and I was just thinking, well, maybe I'd do that, I guess.
And you thought that was approximately 250, 300 feet?
Yeah, something like that.
In your request, you mentioned some riprap.
Yeah,
Where would that be placed?
right there, on that west side. Well, I talked to Ron about it, and Mike come out and looked at it, I guess, so. So I guess they got an idea what I was thinking, I guess.
Mitch, if he knocks down, if we would knock down that 280 feet, would that affect your,
As long as he's got, so we, you know, we can still access it.
I mean, it wouldn't. it's
The only
probably
trouble
not
we have is
aggregate
if it
now.
turns to mud and we get a bunch of rain, you can't get in there.
Right, there isn't a lot of gravel on it
It'll be okay.
currently.
It wouldn't be any different if he had to go out across the field or
No.
not aggregate every place he's gotta go.
Well, as long, I mean, like I say, as long as we've got access to be able to get to it.
I mean, would you wanna leave half the road bed there just to get the point roads in, or get rid of your point roads, or?
I don't know, I guess we'd talk it with Mike and see what we could do
Or maybe
there.
it'll just roll the dirt more in the west ditch,
Or we go east with it, I think,
oh, east?
cause I wanna get that side, so I'd probably take that fence out, clear back to this curve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I was thinking you can push some of that dirt on this side and leave you a higher spot here. to
Yeah.
drive.
I guess it depends on how much we got to work with there, you know, as far as,
Yeah, well, I mean, the higher you leave it for us, the more solid it's gonna be to get down to it. Here's what we did, is that feed going down there now, that's the feed for Erpelding and
you know,
the next one. And that's the only way you can get three-phase now anyway.
yeah.
If we can get, you know, all we can get through there. Unless there's any free fill. You can just fill that ditch in and slope it off, leave the road.
Keep talking.
I think he's asking you for it,
If
Tom.
we knew where anything didn't come up with that. Tax dollars.
Well, we'll call Mike, he can come down there with a dozer and pull you out if you get stuck.
All right. Don't even do without lights.
With that new line, why, it'll stand forever now.
Let's get on paper.
200 mile an
Structurally
hour.
sound.
Does that just replace the FEMA records, such as closer pole spacings and? Any other written comments from anybody?
We haven't received anything written or verbal.
I've been trying to get some people to invest in the bridge, so. I had one guy, he thought maybe I should turn it into a casino.
I guess Tom's comments here, I guess as far as the agreement on the transfer of the bridge, you know, I don't see any problem with putting some riprap on that north side of that west abutment, or southwest abutment, however you wanna say it. I think there's actually a tree growing down in there too, that probably should be cut off, or
Well, there's one right there, and it's got started right along that.
wall.
Yeah,
I guess I probably wouldn't put that language into the transfer agreement itself, I'd probably just put, you know.
If it's in our minutes, if we agree to it,
in the
that's,
minutes, a little riprap that corner. Did you have time to look at the agreement anymore, or is there anything on here that you want? I guess the one thing we'd want to know, we need to know is, you know, what name, whether it's in your name only, or whether you want it, you and your wife, or.
Well, I suppose we put it in, well, that farm is in my name only, so I don't know whether, does that make, I don't know how that works.
I mean, that's what I was thinking too. I saw that the 40s on both sides are in your name only, or at least they were on the plat, I guess I wasn't sure.
So then, if you did a different transfer, so then that would just transfer anyway, wouldn't it, or not?
With the land later, you mean?
Yeah, like say if you did a transfer, that would happen anyway, wouldn't it, or not?
Well, you'd have to have,
It
you'd
takes
have to
separate
have,
language.
yeah, you'd have to have a separate instrument for that, because it's titled differently. And it would probably have a different parcel number as well, so it's not gonna be part of that farm.
What would have a different parcel number?
That piece you're transferring.
The bridge?
No, this,
Oh,
aren't you giving him part of that road?
well, it's his on both sides now. We're giving up our easement.
Just giving up the
We don't
easement.
have title to it, we're just.
Oh,
giving up our
okay,
easement.
okay, all right.
He was talking about if he transferred this quarter later. and this-
Well,
and
then,
thi-
if
and
you're
this-
just selling the bridge, that's not an instrument of transfer anyway, that's just a bill of sale or something like that, because,
But if we're giving up the easement, the taxes will go from the fence,
yeah.
they'll have a different parcel change and then.
Well, except that it won't be separate identified property.
Yeah.
It will just go back to adjoining parcels, so.
Right.
Yeah, if you're just giving up that easement, that just goes back to the
Right.
adjacent landowner.
That easement presently isn't being taxed, like all easements, but.
But Julie may want part interest in that bridge.
Yeah, I suppose I better give her half.
I guess, yeah, I don't know about that. And maybe this agreement should be changed to say,
Well, you're not deeding it.
as a sale,
You're not deeding any real estate.
no. No.
And number 2 there, Sac County agrees to transfer all right, title, and interest whatsoever to said bridge in its present condition too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've got it.
For zero compensation, there's no.
Well, we always say a
You have
dollar.
to do a dollar.
We always have to say a dollar, but I'll give him a dollar.
You wanna get rid of it?
Well, I don't think the code says it, but in our instructions of county engineers, I think it used to be that the roads would get vacated and there would be no action on what happened to the bridge. And then years later it'd come back, well, whose bridge is it?
Right.
When it falls in, who has to pull it out? And so, I know at least for the last 20, 25 years, it's been in our instructions that if we vacate a road with a bridge on it, we need to have some positive action done with it. If the landowner wants to buy it, we try to accommodate that. If they don't want to buy it, then we would remove it.
But you have that identified here, that's why I'm saying it should be fine.
Yeah. I will work with Tom then to get that titled however you wanna.
Okay.
Like I said, it doesn't need to be decided today. I'll probably take the resolution and put in that there, we did receive comments and try to summarize it, briefly. I guess in the minutes today, you could mention that, we did receive his comments. And we will work with him on leveling that portion of the road that he wants leveled. Or do you want me to address that in the resolution too?
It's in the minutes, we agreed to put some riprap on it, outside it and level it, that could be in the minutes.
I'll just put a note in the resolution that says see minutes for additional details. I've done that before too, it's a little easier, so. But I'll revise the resolution then and probably just bring it back next week along with, the agreement. I'll get figured out what he wants in there for.
So you want your action next week then?
On the resolution?
Yes.
Yeah, I would close the hearing and
I'll move to close the hearing.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to close the public hearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All ayes, motion carries.
Now, typically, there's always something that comes up at the meeting, you can't really have a resolution done ahead of time. Sometimes it works that way.
You want the minutes to reflect in the form of a motion to the outside arrangements that we've had in agreeing to, I'll make a motion to agree for the county to provide the riprap on the discussed area next to the bridge, and agree to do the leveling of the north section of approximately 300 feet.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All ayes, motion carries.
How many feet of that road is gonna get moved?
Approximately 300 is what we're estimating.
You can have that back.
I mean, I guess, just to let you know, Tom, you know, I am gonna put something in the resolution that says that, you know, you expressed interest in buying the bridge. And the bridge was closed in 1989 due to inadequate load carrying capacity and has not been maintained by the county since then. The present load carrying capacity, you know, has not been determined. I guess we're just saying, we don't know what kind of shape it's in. So, I did notice on that east of Butler, north side, that one, some of those piling are getting in pretty bad shape, and
Yeah.
we might need a new pile cap across the top of the couple then.
Did you wanna do that then,
Why the hell did you bring it back?
Any help here, or? You take a good bridge off their hands and they treat it.
Thanks, Tom.
Yes, thank you.
You want to call out the office and let us know how you want that title done, you want Tom in.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, just put
Thank you.
it-
We'll pull it off of one of them, I think it's on the,
It's on the- yeah.
just like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll put that in there and. I'll try to get it to you and, we should be able to get it done
Does that have to be notarized or what?
in,
Needs to be recorded, not necessarily.
yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, Jim, you got any?
Well, all that does is verify signatures, doesn't it?
Yeah, notary does, but I don't know that it's necessary. The recording piece is necessary.
I guess the last one we did up on that Raymond Bridge, we did have Lowman's signature notarized.
Did you?
So yeah, we probably would do that, and then actually Jim, you know, he attests for the board. We'll put that, so yeah, we'll probably put a notary requirement in there.
Well, are you a notary, Jim?
No, I've got 3 in my office.
Do you want us to get it ready and send it to you, and then you'll take it wherever you want to, or do you want to? Oh, we just send it to you, and then if you want to bring it back up here to the office and have it notarized.
Oh, okay.
If we have it done by next Tuesday, then the board can go ahead and sign it too. So,
Okay.
Oh, Mike's a notary, isn't
yeah, I think he is. Mike can notarize it too.
Well, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Say your, you want water out of this?
okay. Yes.
Those are old pictures, I think they're 2008 or 9, I think.
Oh. Yeah, that's what he was talking about, that, well, that over there, that got hit pretty good a couple of years ago and busted one of them.
Bust off one of the pilings on that one corner.
But I don't, like Mike said, he says, I don't know, he said that thing stand there a long time yet.
Especially if it's just four-wheelers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, I mean,
Go
they
across.
they put in 4 piling around that big old metal case on it.
Yeah.
And, you know, the one on one corner broke, but, you know, I think you'd wanna check that cap on that, on the other 2 piling on the south side that,
Yeah, see, there's 2 on that side yet that
yeah,
are still,
yeah.
Private bridge, not responsible for any accident. I don't know why people sue people, get some deer hunter going.
right there, I don't know how many years ago that was, but I saw a kid do a backflip off of that into the river.
Oh.
Gee,
Yeah. That guts or no brains, what is it?
well, could have lost them both that day. That's all I got.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
Motion's been made, seconded to adjourn, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye, all ayes, motion carries.